They've been coming up. See where these fish are coming up right here?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. I wasn't moving it. I was pointing. Yeah, it's like a Sammy, but it's made by Berkeley. It's our first fish of the morning. And he's at least 12 inches long. Cormorant was over here, wasn't he? Oh, there you go.
That's decent.
Yeah.
That's got some weight to it.
Oh, he's not a bad one.
That's a decent fish.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that big. Oh, there we go.
Man, that's a good fish.
Right there. Oh, I'm just gonna
Right.
flip. Saw those, can you give me those pliers right there?
I'm not used to somebody landing on fish.
Well,
I appreciate it.
I have one rule on my boat, and if there's treble hooks in it, I always land it. That's the only rule. Enough. I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want.
Sure, makes sense, yeah.
That's a nice, good start.
Yeah, on that.
So we came out here today, and I told Sean, even though these fish are schooling, they wouldn't hit topwater. And then they're eating topwater. Look at that big old knothead.
Look at the size of the head on that.
That fish will weigh 5 pounds once he fills back out.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good fish.
Yeah. Awesome.
On that topwater walking bait from Berkeley. I got those a few months ago before they came out. That fish is skinny, isn't he?
Yeah.
He probably weighs about 4, but could weigh every bit of 5 of that mouth.
Awesome.
He's still wearing his beach body.
Slow to release, eh?
That one was, for some reason.
Awesome.
Nice.
Like,
That's what
this rod, but that's got something
yeah.
to it.
That's the one thing everyone wants to do is come here and catch them on topwater.
Awesome. I can see him V'ing behind it.
Yeah.
Just like that little. Awesome.
All right, I'm out here on Lake Toho today. My last video was on the Butler chain where we were junk fishing. I don't know when this video is going to come out. It depends on when I have time to edit it, but I just published it last night. I'm out here with Sean today. He's from Canada. We started up on a shell bed. They weren't schooling that great. There's loads of bait in there. Middle of October, he did catch one about 4 pounds on a Sammy type bait, a walking bait made by Berkeley. I think it's just called a walker. Big skinny fish. And we jumped off a couple other small fish, and I think I caught one I did catch one on a walking bait too. But now we're out on another shell bed where they're not schooling, and like I said in the last video, I don't film a lot when it's just the same stuff going on and on over and over again. We are in fall here. The water temperatures are cooling down. They're 80 degrees here, which is almost freezing for Florida, which is funny to him because he's from Canada. But water's 80. A lot of these fish are starting to move into the outside grass lines. Up inside everything, it's all real thick hydrilla. And I'm sure there's some fish back in there, but it's difficult to do that. And a lot of these fish are just on these outside Kissimmee and Hydrilla lines. And you can get up there and flip them if you want to. But a lot of times when you're flipping that stuff, you're actually sitting on top of a lot of the fish because these grass lines here don't end where you see them. A lot of them come, up to 20 yards out, and some of those fish are cruising in that outside scattered grass. So we're gonna cast some worms. If the wind kicks up, we might throw some lipless crankbaits and spinner baits and stuff like that. But stay tuned and let's see how many more we can catch. Is that a fish? No. Yep. Look at this one swimming with it.
Yep.
Look where we just happened to be. No.
Tossing it, eh?
So, if you look where we are on my GPS, right where I was anchored up,
crazy
shiner fishing. I'll show that on camera because there's no coordinates on there. I shiner fished here the other day and we got bit right here. We just fished about 200 yards with no bites. We get right where I caught them on shiners and I jump one off because I'm not very good. That fish hit out here and was swimming. He was going through Hydrilla though, and you couldn't really feel him.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, you're really right on.
I'm dead on it. There's something about this spot every year these fish get right here. Nah, I mean, it's not any different than what we fished through the last 50 yards.
Had you brought it through the Hydrilla?
He hit it like out here and then swam it out the rest of the way. It was a 2-pounder, 2.5. Yep. There we go. Finally.
There we go.
It's a little one,
Okay.
but we didn't miss it.
Ah.
This is what we call moral victory fish because we worked really hard for it. Took 28 pounds to win a tournament today and 10, 15 mile an hour winds, and it's blowing 0 to 2 today. So we started on a shell bed, and then we are now fishing some offshore hydrilla towards the south end of the lake. I promised him about 10 fish off this spot, but it's one.
Is that normal?
The little spots? Yeah, it's just Florida. Our water's warm all the time, so they get little spots and stuff all over them.
Cool. All right. Oh, good.
You've caught twice as many now as you had before.
There you go. There's something.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the way this is here, though. So there's a lot of times, especially in this offshore hydrilla, where you catch one and you can drop your talons or turn on spot lock and sit here and catch 3 or 4 more. Or it might be the only one we catch in this spot. But is that worm all right?
Yeah, that bobber stuff. Is it normally really difficult?
Yeah, on that monofilament, yeah.
How high do you?
We found him! Ooh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that is a nice one. Same spot.
Beautiful.
Good one. On the DOA trick worm.
That's a good fish. I'm letting him fight a little bit. I know.
That's good. That's, I don't know.
Pull him in, but
it's fine. We're Bill dancing him.
I'm Bill dancing him. That's a solid fish, though, eh?
Yeah. That's what we call a good tournament fish.
Close the fly.
Open your mouth.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Nice.
4? Yeah.
Yeah, he's 4.
Yeah, he's a little lean,
These
eh?
Florida bass aren't as dense as
Yeah.
northern fish are.
Yeah.
Nice one though. You want a
Yeah.
picture of him?
Yeah, I do want a
Okay.
picture of him for sure. That's worth losing a worm for.
Same spot. I didn't move the boat since you caught that other one.
What? Do they stink?
Yeah, sometimes you get those fish that smell bad for some reason. It's because they've been eating shad. Somebody told me it's because they've been eating shad.
Oh.
And that makes them stink.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming from the gut.
It's that.
Wow.
Roland did that to me one time years ago. He caught a fish and he's going, I go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm trying to see what they're eating. I go, what's it smell like? He goes, fish. And he threw it back. And I was like a confused 21-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm like, doesn't the whole thing smell like fish? He
Yeah.
goes, yeah. And then just kept fishing.
Messing with
You
you.
may take it with your phone or mine or?
Mine if you don't
Yeah.
mind. I think he has been stung before, unless that was me.
No, you caught him right in the roof.
Yeah?
Yeah. Got him?
That was a fish, but I didn't know what.
Oh, I'll go over and get him.
I don't even know if I got it.
Yeah, he's there. Just not as big.
Was that your 10 and 2?
A 10 and 2. Except he lost 9 pounds of grass. Oh, there we go. We've caught the most fish so far in the one place that I almost didn't come to.
Yeah.
Typical.
Smell test.
Smell like fish?
Clean. Smells clean.
He doesn't look like he's been eating much of anything.
Boy, that other one though. Bad breath.
Yeah.
And they'd stick a sign up on their window.
Oh. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
not a big one. I told when we were on the other side of the point, I said I've been fishing directly out of the other side from here. This is right where we're getting into now. I had a completely slack line, and I could see him taking it.
Oh, tapping it.
Shoving a Cliff Bar in my mouth. Not a big one. Look how dark he is being in that Hydrilla.
Right on the edge of it?
Mm-hmm. Caught one about 6.5 here the other day.
Nice.
That was on a big 10-inch old monster.
Worm?
Yeah. So they're officially not on brush piles finally. I did a video on a while back on how I only use screw and bullet weights and straight shanked hook.
Okay.
So before I put this video out, now that people see this, that I have the bobber stopper and the slip hook and an offset hook, I'm going to get comments saying, why are you doing that? So the only reason I'm doing this is because I ran out of screw and bullet weights. I did say in the video, I think that this is my second favorite way to do it. So I have no screw and bullet weights, so I'm doing it this way. So we're wrapping up our wonderful day here on Lake Toho. Beautiful, crisp, cool fall weather. He said it's just like this up in Ontario. Actually, it's about 90 something degrees out. It was cooler this week after that hurricane went up through up the Gulf, and we had a couple cooler mornings, but it wasn't cool today. And we had no wind for most of the day. This is about as hard as it's blown all day, about 3. We had hydrilla gnats all over us. Saw a few alligators. I think we probably missed more fish than we caught, both of us. He caught a couple good ones, and we caught some small ones, but we fished all over the lake, and I guess the best pattern today ended up being outside hydrilla lines. Shell bed didn't work out too well. We did hit some brush piles, which they're not typically on this late in the year, but I did catch some on them earlier this week, and they were done today. No fish on brush piles. Caught a couple nice ones though, outside hydrilla lines, and I will be back out here tomorrow. This is my 20th or 21st day in a row fishing. Bet you guys feel sorry for me. I've got a few more days to go. You're supposed to catch one here while I'm doing this and go, oh, look, we got a real big one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a like and comment, and see you next time. Bye. Hook set. I got it though. And I turned the camera back on.
Man, I don't know what it is with it. Just a mono?
Hey, you got it hooked. Look at that.
Funky one. Yeah.
So I just did the closing, which you're going to see after this, because we were wrapping it up, and I said he was supposed to catch one while I was doing the closing, but we had our timing off, so he caught one now. Not a big one.
Chunky though.
But he's chunky. See ya.